Hey guys, this is Vinod back again with a new video on your YouTube channel. I'm in Azure. Hope you all are doing good and safe where you are. So today's agenda is I was just thinking to present how we can create Azure resources inside Azure by using PowerShell. So where we are going to use the new AZ module that Microsoft are recommended to use it. So let's get started with that. Okay, so I will be covering the basics on how to use this PowerShell to deploy resources. Generally, we use this PowerShell kind of approach when we are going with the automation. You can run PowerShell or Terraform or Azure CLI commands with the automation account, and you can get your environment ready. So basically, what and why we need this Azure PowerShell, and what is this Azure PowerShell? So basically, what Microsoft has done is, if you look at this slide here, they have exposed some kind of approaches how we can deploy resources inside Azure. So whatever you send a resource, it will be going through a resource manager, and it will check for the authentication. Once you are authenticated, then it will send your request to the appropriate resource provider. So if you're looking for a storage account or an web app or virtual machine, this resource manager will take care of your request, and it will send it to appropriate resource provider. So now we are looking at the kind of approach how we can pass our request. So we can send our request by using different ways. We can use Azure portal, or you can use .NET SDKs, or we can use Azure PowerShell or CLI commands, or they have exposed some kind of REST APIs, which you can directly call those REST APIs using the Postman, or you can include them in your code, whatever the language you wrote. It can be a .NET or a Python or PHP, Java. You can just call this REST APIs with the appropriate HTTP get, post, or put delete methods, and you can send those requests to this resource provider. So while you are sending this request, you need to make sure you are already authenticated to that Azure, so that your request will successfully go through this, and it will reach appropriate resource provider. So today's our agenda is we are going to see how we can go or submit our request by using Azure PowerShell. So for that, what Azure has done is they have released a module, which is AZ module, where you will have a set of commands inside which by using these commands you can manage your Azure resources. You will have a similar like get request, some post new post request, which is used to create new resources. Then you will have some delete request. You just need to write the commandlets, and with the right authentication, it will reach the appropriate resource provider to get your work done, or to get your request to be completed. So as I mentioned, this PowerShell provides a rich feature for automation. You can use this with an Azure automation account in Azure, or you can also use it in your CI/CD pipelines, so that even you don't need to bother about your deployment as well. You can deploy. You can just create an ARM template, and you can run a simple PowerShell script in your CI/CD pipeline, so that your infrastructure or your environment in Azure can get ready automatically. So this is one point that I just like to highlight. Earlier, they have released a module called Azure RM. They have a set of commands inside this Azure RM, and we were using this module, but they come up with a new module for Azure commands, that is AZ module. So mostly they are no longer updating or supporting this Azure RM, and they are recommending to use AZ module instead of this Azure RM. So we can call this as an replacement for Azure RM. Then how to install this? So you have different ways that you can install Azure AZ module inside your PowerShell window, and you can use it. You can download, or you can use. You can directly run a command, install module, the PowerShell module that you would like to install on your machine from the PowerShell ISE. Uh, then you can download an MSI installer where you can just directly run it on your machine, and the PowerShell modules will get installed automatically. You can use Azure Cloud Shell as well. When you go to Azure portal, you will see an option to open the Cloud Shell. The You can open the Cloud Shell and you can run the PowerShell commands there as well. Or else you can just use an Docker image that is already supported or provided by Microsoft, inside which you have this AZ module already installed. So basically, when you are going with a local development, this is the recommended way, where you can just import modules by the basic command import module. So this is something you just need before in your system. Before you install this AZ module, you need the latest version of PowerShell on your machine. It can be on this Windows 10 or higher version. You need to install the framework 4.7.2. Then you need to make sure you have this latest PowerShell get module, so that you can install this module readily. You can also have a PowerShell core, which will allow you to use this AZ modules in different platforms like Mac or Linux virtual machines, something like that. You just need to have the right PowerShell version. You can just refer document, Microsoft document. It will guide you in the right direction. So I mentioned I mentioned why and what is this AZ module in PowerShell, and how. Now I would like to give a demo how we can use that uh, in creating some resources inside our Azure environment. So let me just switch my screen here. Okay. So you just need to go to PowerShell ISE and run it as an admin mode. So the admin mode will help you if you want to install some modules, you can run it in an admin mode. So basically, the first thing you need to look at is the version that you have in your machine. So the command is ps version table.ps version. So if you run this, you will see the version that is installed on your machine. So I have the version 5.1, so I can use this AZ module. So you just need to run this command. Once you run this command, all the AZ modules will automatically get imported into your machine. If you don't want to import all the modules, you can import like if you're working on Azure storage, you can just import the Azure storage modules, or if you're working on virtual machines, you can just import the virtual machine related modules if you don't want to import all those modules. So I will just show you how you can look at the module names. uh, so once you are done with installation, you will see here in the drop down the kind of modules that you have imported. I have imported the AZ account module, which is uh, actually responsible for connecting with the Azure, or so that I can authenticate with the Azure environment. Then this AZ Compute is generally use it for the creation of virtual machines, listing the virtual machines, uh, virtual machine scale sets or network, all those. For that, you can use this AZ Compute. Then I have Cosmos DB related, then resources, storage, something like this. So basically, the first thing that you need to do is you need to run a command called connect AZ. you can press control space to get an intelligence coming up. So I will just use connect hyphen az. So it will list all the commands that you have in your machine. So I have actually az module and azrm module. I'm going to use this azrm module is currently replaced by az. So I'm just using this az for now. So if I run this, it will pop up a window where you need to provide your credentials. So I'm just going with the credential. So you see the script is running. I just uh, given my username and password. Okay, it is connected to some tenant and it says I have more than one active subscription. So generally I have more than one active subscription. So it is just selecting the first one uh, to generally whenever you connect, it will just select random the first one. If you have more than one, if you want to select a particular, you can just go here and run a command called select space hyphen az subscription. So this will select that particular subscription. So to get the list of subscriptions, you can just run the command get hyphen az subscription and just select this and hit this run selection, or you can press F8. So this will list the kind of subscriptions that I have access to. If you see, I have access to some of these subscriptions. So I can just select any one of them, the ID I need to select, and I can run a command called select AZ subscription. And I can give the subscription. I have to pass this. That's all. If I just select this and press F8, then it will start selecting that only subscription. So whatever I work, all that work goes into this single subscription now. So inside this subscription, I will show you how to create a resource group. So for resource group creation, you can just run the command new hyphen az resource group. So you basically you don't even need to know the commands. You can just you just install that module and type it here like whatever you want. Like if you want to create new thing, just to type new hyphen az, then press control space. It will give a list of commands that you need. Just type resource, so you will see resource group. So this will basically look for the name. So I am just going to give a name called temp rg. Then it will ask for location. I have to give a location which is Central India. And let's just select this and try to run this. So this has created, if you see the message, provision succeeded. Now let me just go to the portal and show you that. Portal.azure.com. So here I have to go to, I created a resource group called temp rg. So here it has to show up. Is it temp rg? Okay, let me go to subscription first so that I will. Okay, I haven't selected that. So this is my subscription. So inside this, I have to go to resource groups. Then I can select search for temp RG. So this is the RG that got created. You don't see any deployments inside this, and it is created inside the subscription ID AC60 something. So that is the subscription that I have selected here, and it is created in central India. This is the space. Okay, so basically if you don't know what all the parameters or the commands that you need to pass, you can just run the command uh, get hyphen get hyphen help space. You just need to give the okay. So before that, if I want to get the commands that are related to this resource group, I can just run the command get command and just give 2 stars here so that it will take it as a wildcat characters, and you just need to give resource group. So this will generally gives what all the commands that are related to this resource group. Now if I run this, you will see the list of commands that are under this that have this resource group in their name. So I have export AZ resource group. Right now we have used this AZ, sorry, this one AZ resource group, which is inside this AZ resource group module. I have both the modules, so it is showing a list in a very long way. So that's how it works. And if you want to, the command, like, let's say if I want to get some more information about this command, like what are the parameters that I can pass to this, you can just copy this command and you can run this get hyphen help and just give the command name. So the update help, no. So basically this will give you the description of this command. So what is the name, what it is going, what it will do. Let me just change the screen here. So what it going to do, it just create an Azure group. So the syntax for that and the description, it is just giving some related links like what all other commands that we can use this with this resource group or resource. So if you want to get some more detailed info, you can just type here detailed. So if you run this now, let me just clear the screen first. You can just type CLS and if you run this, you will see some detailed view of this command, which includes the syntax description and the parameters. So you see here the parameters list, the name, the resource group, then API version, tags if you want to add some tags to this, those all are. And if you scroll down, you see some kind of examples as well that the Microsoft has shared, like you can use this command, something like this, the name, location, or you can create an empty resource group using positional parameters. You just don't need to give the values if it is a positional parameter. I mean the hyphen name, hyphen location, something like that. Then if you want to add tags, so you can just use this hyphen tag value and you can pass the tags as well. So you can make use of these commands like get help with a detailed link here. You can just get the list of examples also how you can use this PowerShell commandlets. Now let me just try to create some resource inside this resource group. So basically, let me try to create a web app. So for web app, basically what we need is we need an app service plan. So inside that app service plan, we can just create our web app. So first I need an app service plan. So I can just type new hyphen app, then service. So it will give me list. I just need to select this. Then it is asking me for location. I need to pass the name, tier, and the resource group inside which I want to create. The subscription is already selected, so we don't need to bother about that. So let me just select the location. So it is giving me list of locations as well. So let me just select Central India. Then the tier, I can select the tier also. It is suggesting me the values. I can just go with the free tier. Then I should provide name for my service plan. So I'm just giving it test ASP, test ASP PowerShell. Then the resource group inside which I want to create. So I can just select temp RG here. So that's all. So if I run this now, it will create a new service plan. You will see that message showing up here. See, it says my app service is ready and the geo region that it has selected and the provision status is succeeded. Now let me just go to the portal and see. If I refresh here, it should show me the app service plan that I have created. Yeah. So this is the app service plan that I created, test ASP power. Now I just need to deploy one web app. So I can go here and type the same command -az. Now I need web app. So web app hyphen the resource group. Again, I'm going to select temp RG. Then hyphen name of the web app, which is test web app from PowerShell. Then hyphen location, I'm going to use again Central India. App service plan. App service plan is the plan that I have created. Test as power. And I can just, if I want to add some kind of a container image while deploying this, or if I have to include some slots, I can include them. If I have a Git repository path to deploy something into this web app directly, I can just use this. I am not concerned about them. I'm just going to create a web app, very simple one. So let me just run this. Now you will see a message showing up here. They will see it is saying creating site for me. It is showing me the percentage as well. Nice. You can just toggle this windows by using these commands. You can just bring this pane right and left down. So that says now the provision has been succeeded and the state of web app is running here if you see this message. And I haven't given any kind of repository links here or storage account links. So let me just go to the portal and see how it looks now. I just need to refresh this. You see this web app has been created. I can just go inside this and you see the messages running and the resource group. If I just browse this, it will just show up the basic website that is Microsoft is giving us. So this is how it is saying the app service is up and running. So basically, whatever you need to create, you just need to go here and you need to run that commands like say new hyphen, something like that. If I have to remove this web app now, I can just run remove hyphen. Before removing, I would like to just list those web apps that are created. So for listing, just run the command get hyphen az web app. Let me clear this console. And if I select this and run this, it is getting all the web apps that are inside my subscription. Actually, if I if I want to get it under a single resource group, I just give it a resource group name, just temp RG. Let me clear the screen once again. If I don't give the subscription there, the resource group name, it will fetch all the web apps inside my subscription. So let me run this. Now if you see, it just fetched only one, that is okay, what is the name here? Yeah, this is the name. So if I just want to limit the values, I can just store it in a variable. So to store it in a variable, you can define the variable by using dollar symbol, dollar web apps, and just save it to a variable. That's all. Now if you go and web apps dot, you will get all the properties on your web apps. I am just looking at the name. So now if I just run this, I will get the name of the web app. So which is just web app. And if you want to just know the status, you can just type status state. It says running. So something like this. If you want to stop this, you can just again run the command stop -az web app, and you just need to give the resource group name temp rg, then the name of the web app. So this will stop my web app. Now if I go and check my status, so to check status again, I can just run the command get. I am not supposed to use this variable because this was collected before stopping this. So now if I have to use the same, I can just run this back again so that new values get stored into this variable. Now if I just take this out and if I look for the state, so it says stopped. And if you just go to this portal as well, and just go to this, come back again, you will see this is in stopped state. Oh, it's still showing running. Just refresh this. So you see this is in stopped state. Just taking some time to reflect on the browser. So that is how you can just create a simple web app. You can just create the storage as well. Simple. It just hyphen storage. Oh, sorry. You need to give AZ storage. Yes. So storage account, you can create the storage accounts as well, as simple as creating a web app. And to know the commands that you can use and that commands that Microsoft is providing for different operations, you can just go to their documentation, which is well documented. I generally refer those documents if I have something new required. So you can just type Azure PowerShell, go to first link, and you have a section called references, which has the list of commands that you can use. So I was working with the web app, right? So let me show you the command here. Oh, it's not listed here. I can just filter out. Web app. So I was using add web app, right? So add AZ web app. Okay. So this is the one. Actually, it is under the module AZ websites. So you see the command So you have the list of modules for whatever you want to work with. If you want to work with API management, gateways, billing, Cosmos DB, storage, HD Insight, Key Vault, you just need to come here and refer those appropriate commands, or else you can just import those modules and you can get it from here as well. You just need to type here the command and space, control space. So this will list all your commands that you own, and you can use that get help anytime to get the right commands that you can use. So this take documentation is also pretty well documented. You can use here. This has some example sessions as well, how you can use these sections, or again you will get it from the get help command as well. And I have a long script for creating virtual machines, so I just like to present it to you. So this is the script that I have. I just collected it from the Google again. So where you need to just pass the resource group, location, Central India. So generally to create a virtual machine, you need the uh, Azure Virtual Network, then NSG storage account, then you need IP addresses, NIC card, operating system, the OS disk. So you can just write these commands, and for the values that you need to just pass the variables here that we are defining here. So the VNet name can be PowerShell VNet. Then address space, I am just giving it an a CIDR notation. The format is supposed to be with the slash. Then subnet name, I'm just giving it as PowerShell subnet. Then NSG name, again I am giving it as PowerShell NSG. And storage account, I can give PowerShell storage account. Basically this account has to be unique, so you can just run this command to check the if it is unique or not. So I'm just giving it some random name. I hope this is available. Then I don't need this command because I have the resource group already created, or else if I want to create a new one, basically I don't need, let it be. So now this will start creating the storage account, then subnet, the virtual network and the subnet and the NSG rules. Then it just selecting the SKU to be CentOS, and I just give some username and password to this. Great, let's run this. So basically I want to see what is the subscription that is selected. So, or else I can just run this command, select subscription, so that just to make sure this subscription is selected. Okay, so once this is done, I can run this command. I can just select all this and press this run selection, or I can just run this. This will run the entire script. So if I run this, this will start creating the subs, all the resources that are needed for the virtual machine. So basically I'm defining the variables, and okay. Okay, some missing parameters. What does this says? Okay, this says this commandlet is not recognized. So let me just see the portal first. I don't want to mess up things. So if I go here, okay, just created the storage account. Let me look at the commands. So it is basically saying new AZ module network is not recognized. So if I have to use this command, basically I should have imported that module. So I haven't imported all the modules. So what I can do is I can just go here, Google, search for this command, and this needs the module called AZ network. So I can just copy this, and to install this I can just search for install module network. So this PowerShell gallery will show me the command that I should use, or else you can just if you have the right version, you can just copy this, or else you can type this command. Let me just run this first. So again, you need to be in the, okay, it is asking me to install all this. Let me just add one more command here, allow flower, so that if already installed, just ignore them and install back. So this will start installing yes to all. So you see here in the module section, I don't have AZ network. Once this is installed, you will see here that. Yeah, that's done. Let's just refresh. Yes, this has AZ module installed, and you see that this message is also done. So now if you look at the commands, I have all the AZ networking related commands as well. Now let me try to run this. So basically, one thing I can do is I can just remove the storage account here so that it will get automatically created, or I can just comment out the code from there. So just delete, type yes. So this deleted. Let's run this once again. I hope I have all the commands or the modules that are necessary, or else again I have to follow the same process. It's just one time you need to import that module so you can use it anytime. Basically, we need all the modules. Yeah, since the network creation is done, the NSG is also done. Okay. It is giving problem while creating the username and password this time. Fine. Let me quickly check that. So basically the error is at PS credentials, which is not taking the username and password, and the other one is set boot diagnostics. That is where I see some error. Yeah, the set boot diagnostics is again a commandlet that is not in my machine. So I'm just giving you how can you troubleshoot this as well, so that if you face any difficulties, if you have some command or script already with you, how can you do that? So I can just run this command. It is in AZ compute. I have the compute, but somehow it is not there because might be somewhere newly added. So let's just go here and copy this and run it. Same, I'm just allowing Blobber. Meanwhile it runs. Let me just check the ES2 all, the PS. Why is it not taking this? So let me try out something real quick. So I was creating mod new AZ VM. I believe this is not showing something up. I can just go to compute. I know it is under compute. Where is this compute now? Okay, let me check it here. The version being installed is not categorized signed. Okay, seems some problem with this. Let me check for other versions as well. Oh, they have this previous version, so many. Let me check this first. So they have a list of packages or the versions. Let me try the latest one, how it goes. Yes to all. So meanwhile, let me check that new VM. So I can just view commandlet and I need new hyphen AZ VM. So this needs credentials, which is under AZ compute module. So this should show here. Okay, the compute module somehow not showing here. Let me check from here. Or else I can just type the command, not an issue, AZ VM. So this will directly take me over to that documentation. Here you go. Okay, it is under virtual machines. Okay, let me just look at the example here. Yes. So the credentials, I can create something like this. So, okay, this is installed now. Where is the credentials? So here I can use this and I can use my username, something like this. and it is actually taking it in a secure string. So let me try this itself. Yeah, there you go. Local admin user and password can be some strong password if it pwd pwr PowerShell @12345. Fine. And it failed with the OS is missing. So let me check that OS. Where is this OS profile? I can just Control F OS profile. Oh, capital. ठीक है. God. Then why is it throwing this error? Required parameter OS profile is missing. No. So basically it is looking for the OS. So new operating system, is it looking here? Let me check if this command is available or not. Not this. Set az VM boot diagnostics. Okay, this is available now. Let me try to run this first and see if it how it is going. So meanwhile, I believe I have some resources already being created. Okay, I have this VNet storage accounts already created. Let me run this again. Okay, the storage account definitely going to fail, and it is asking me to override these resources. I can do an S, or I can just comment out. For now, let me just delete them real quick here. I don't want to mess things. I don't want NSG, VNet, go here, delete everything. So they started deleting. Let's give a minute. I know it is taking a lot of time, but the thing I'm making sure is how you can troubleshoot as well. If you're facing some kind of issues like this, you need to troubleshoot on your own. And this is how generally I even search for things. Okay, this got deleted. For now, let's just say no. I just want to stop it. Just clear everything. And run it again. You can just save this file as a .sh file and you can run it so that you don't need you don't see all the script on the console, or you can just share it with some other persons also. You can copy the same script to automation account and run it from there as well. I hope this time it goes smooth. Okay, the disk I'm using here is premium LRS. I should have changed this to some other value. That's okay. I am anyhow going to clean this environment once I'm done with this demo. The script is still running. Let me check the portal. Okay, so it has already created the disk. It started creating the virtual machine. It is just taking some time. By now, it should have created the virtual network subnet as well. Let me just go back and come again. Okay, you see here the virtual machine, virtual network, disk, IP address, storage, NSG, all being started. And this is still creating, so you will see the virtual machine still in the state of creating. Okay, this is running. That means the script is done. Yeah, you see the message, is succeeded code is true, and you see the machine is running with the OS that we have given, the CentOS. Then other things as well. Let me just go to NSG. I just want to look at the rules that it has set. Yeah, the name of the NIC card is CentOS 01 NIC, which is a name that we have given there. And here I have a rule called allow VM access, which is actually allowing this 22.338.9 port. This we have configured in our PowerShell script. If you look at this one, okay. So this is going to set a NSG config, which allows all VM access, and it is TCP port, priority is 100, and allowing all the destinations with the stars. So that's all I have for today. Hope I know I took a lot of time, but this will help you somehow. Uh, so please share your questions on the comment section if you have, or you need any help with the PowerShell script. And please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel so that it will just give me a boost up to do more videos, something like this. So, uh, let me just look at these. Okay, so I just, before ending up, I just shown you this. Sorry, this is a quick reference. You can just search for Azure PowerShell, and then it will just bring up to this. So that's all I have. This is just a URL that I posted here just to make sure that I don't forget. Yeah, thanks all. Thanks for watching this. Uh, I will be back with some new video. Bye. Thanks.